Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that if you're returning. How you doing? Grab your coffee, maybe a snack or two, definitely chocolate. But you know what? Lay off the eggs. There's a reason. All right, so let's get into it, okay? So the topic of inflation, okay? It's been in the news. We talk about it here. Other channels talk about it, okay? It's nearly every day, right? And now, the top concern among all the people, okay, because it's inflation, okay, it's going to get worse. We know this, right on. Most Americans, we are familiar with all the items in the CPI or the Consumer Price Index, right? And the metric is based on charges for all consumer goods and services. And the USDA Economic Research Service measures the change or retail food prices only, okay? And the agency should add to voter concerns. Oh boy, yeah, this is gonna hurt, isn't it? So while all the items for CPI for April was 8.3%, food alone increased by 9.4%. I think you should add a little bit more onto that, just saying. So that's according to the USDA. So food consumed at home also increased more than the price of food away from home. That's because a lot of us, we'd rather cook at home than go out to eat. It's cheaper, right? And grocery store and supermarket purchases rose 10.8% year over year in April, okay? And the USDA's forecast for May, it predicted the cost of food will increase again and significantly more by fall. And that's why I have been, saying, by fall, we're going to see, some real crises here. And we all know and heard about dark winter, right on. So all of the crises that the potato administration created, okay, are converging and could cause food insecurity for the first time in the living memories of many, many Americans, okay? Now, potatoes, not my backyard. Energy policy halted domestic fossil fuel production while he still begs some of the worst regimes in the world to drill more oil. And that led to higher fuel cost with or without Putin's invasion, all right? Because you can't blame him for everything. You really can't, potato. Sorry, but this is on you, okay? If you look at any gas pump at any gas station, you were all seeing the stickers. I did that. So, and higher fuel costs impact farm operations and all forms of transportation. It doesn't matter if it's a taxi, if it's a bus, if it's a plane. It's definitely not Superman, is it? So, and, Putin, he has caused the fertilizer prices to skyrocket, okay? But nearly all of the input costs of growing and harvesting the food and then getting it to the shelves in the stores are rising the same way the price is at the gas pump. That's why I have encouraged everyone to start your freedom gardens, all right? So issues beyond the control of the administration are compounding the problems that it has caused. For example, highly pathogenic avian flu, right? The bird flu, okay? It has affected approximately 38 million chickens. And so the price of eggs has increased 10.3% since April. And the USDA, they predicted an increase of 19.5% and 20.5% year over year in 2022. And that could mean, now listen to this. Now this will literally be sticker shock to a lot of us, okay? $1 per egg. Yeah. And, we normally buy, a dozen eggs at a time. So imagine paying $12 for a dozen of eggs. Come on, So poultry prices, they're going to rise too. So Fish and seafood, they're rising rapidly as well. And the prices in April were 11.9% over the same month of April of 2021. And dairy consumption is up. You've seen the prices of milk. I've seen them. You guys have shown me pictures at the very most of $10 for a gallon of milk. It's insane. And prices followed the trend with a 2.4% increase in just April alone. So predictions for both of these categories were revised upward of 7 to 8% in 2022, and other proteins are getting more expensive as well. So before this happens, okay, you know what to do. Okay, I've said this before. Whenever they do a recall on something, stock up on it before it's no longer available. So before the prices of eggs gets any higher, stock up on your eggs. If you have a food dehydrator or a freeze dryer, know what to do, okay? Even if you don't, you can freeze your eggs. Get the silicone ice cube trays. Crack the egg, put it in the ice cube tray, sprinkle some kosher salt or whatever kind of salt you have, and put it in the freezer for about 6 to 8 hours, okay? And then release those eggs from the ice cube tray into either a Ziploc bag, or if you have a food saver, do it that way, okay? You know, because this is just, it's getting ridiculous, okay? It's getting ridiculous, all right? So it's not going to get any better. It's really not, all right? So I'm going to put this up now, all right? Now there's a new shiny object that we got to watch out for, okay? Because, you know, they're not just going to stop at one, okay? There's something called a tomato flu. I swear to you, okay? And it's been discovered. The Indian media has been talking about this virus for days now, also called the tomato fever, because of the color of the rash that it causes, all right? And since May 6th, more than 80 cases have been identified in India. Yeah. So now I'm going to put up some screenshots for you, but I'll read them out to you first, okay? And they say, this one says, sewage dumped on the fields here in Maine, now found to be toxic. Farms have closed down, more than 7,000. Food and animals on these farms are a complete loss. Imagine that. This one says, my brother almost cut off his finger, or his thumb, sorry, at work, and this was in northeast Wisconsin. The ER doctor did not give him an IV drip, no saline, no pain meds, while they sewed his thumb back on. Can you imagine? But gave him a prescription for Vicodin. He also said the nurse kept apologizing for not being able to treat him properly due to shortages, and was thankful they had some gauze left. Everything just became really scary for me. If the ER can't help you, we're in trouble. Yeah. You know, this is what happened in Venezuela as well. If you remember me talking about this, in Venezuela, if you have to go to a doctor, you better have your own supplies with you, including rubber gloves, gauze, medical tape, whatever, if you want to be treated, because they can't treat you otherwise. No, they cannot. So also this, gas prices under the Green New Deal are going to reach about $13 a gallon. So I hope you're ready for that too. So not only are we going to be paying $12 for a dozen eggs, $13 a gallon for gas. Yeah. So when it comes to gas prices, we're going to go through an incredible transition that's going to take place here. Okay, God willing. When it's over, we'll be stronger and the world will be stronger and less reliant on fossil fuels when this is over. Okay, that's what Potato's saying. Okay, I'm reiterating what he's saying. Okay, because this is coming out of a dementia patient. Okay, he said it was a mistake since although running prices for fossil fuel generated energy higher has always been part of the plan for Biden's Green New Deal energy policies, admitting it aloud in public was not supposed to be part of the messaging. Oh, no? No? All right. My gosh. So this one. We certainly don't want 1%ers, millionaires, and billionaires telling us whether or not we can have children. Yeah, no, that's none of their friggin' business at all. So this was sent to me, and this is very, very interesting, okay? This is dated April 4th, 1985, okay? And it's from the IRS, Department of Treasury. And it says, to all district directors. On March 5th, 1985, a charge of tax evasion was filed in the U.S. District Court in Indianapolis, Indiana, by U.S. Attorney George Duncan, and that's D-U-N-C-A-N. The charge was dismissed. The defense attorney, Lowell Beecraft of Huntsville, Alabama, presented irrefutable evidence that the 16th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution was never properly ratified. This amendment which was established, the income tax, was signed into law despite serious defects. In reality, only 2 states ratified the amendment, and ratification requires 36 states to be valid. The effect of this is such that every tax paid into the Treasury since 1913 is due and refundable to every citizen and business. The official position the service is, as it has always been, to aid and assist the citizens of the United States. We will not publish or advertise this finding, as a total immediate refund would cause a serious drain on the resources of the Treasury. What? We will not publish or advertise this funding, as a total immediate refund would cause a serious drain on the resources of the Treasury. I don't care about the Treasury and draining your damn wallet. What about my wallet? What about your wallet? Did you ever hear of the saying, because Sean says it all the time, the more you make, the more they take? For those citizens who become aware of this finding and apply for a total refund, expedite their refund documents as quickly and as quietly as possible. A simple 1040X form will suffice until a new form is designed and printed. Advise each of your managers that they are not to discuss this situation with anyone. There will be no written communication, and you are to destroy this memorandum. The Secretary of the Treasury assures me that there will be no reduction in the workforce, as this refunding activity will take a minimum of 5 years to complete. Further directions will be forwarded if the need arises. I'm trying to read the name. Rosdy L. Egger, Jr., Commissioner of Internal Revenue. Holy shite. Can we still do this? I've been paying taxes since I was 15 years old, man. That's when I started working. What about you? And before I go, this subscriber, he's a wise ass. He says, "You want a good laugh? Can you hear a potato saying this? If so, what have you been smoking?" Because there's a picture of Potato, and it says, after learning that his Secret Service detail carried firearms chambered in the same 9mm cartridge that he earlier warned could blow a person's lungs out, Potato immediately ordered them to switch to firearms that use less lethal 22 LR caliber. No, he didn't. He went on to state that he has always believed in leading by example and that this would show the American people that none of us need to use such deadly weapons. When he was informed that this decision could put his life in jeopardy, he responded that it was a risk he was willing to take if it resulted in a safer America. Lies! All right, guys, I'm out of here. I love you. I'll see you in the next one. You stay safe. You stay positive. You keep prepping. And as always, fearless. Ciao.